Hi everybody, Dan Tyler here again. I hope you're all well and I hope you're all working hard with your trading. I can see more people posting on the group, which is lovely. We're all here to help and it's great to post as much as you can so then we can all help each other. Um, I just thought I'd take some time to do a similar video to the one I did last time on cable, but actually doing it on euro dollar this week. I've taken the time this weekend to go over my analysis over the currency pairs that I'd like to keep an eye on, and I thought euro dollar was in quite an interesting position, um, and it sets you guys up to have a look at it and see what you think as well, and get your brains thinking and get your trader mind on, shall we say. Um, but I'll start off with the analysis now. So as like I said last video, I always have my charts in a weekly, daily, 4 hour, an hour. So you can see here, and I always start off with the weekly. And again, I always start off putting my channel lines in. So with my channel lines, it's all about finding the line of best fit, just like I said last time. And it's just practice. The more practice that you put in, the easier it is for you to be able to spot them in a way. So just keep practicing because they can be really effective in the market. You don't need to use them. It's completely up to you on what you do with them. But I'm a big advocate of using channels because the market is always moving in them. Yeah, the market is always in a channel really. Um, so here's the channel. Here's the channel that euro dollars in on the weekly time frame, and we can see that at this level, the week just gone, we've actually had a break of this channel line, and it's been quite bullish over the past couple of weeks or so, which shows that there's quite a bit of momentum on the upside. So we could, just by looking at this, as we've had this channel break, we could see a little bit of a pullback to this level, and for it to move to the upside to this channel resistance, maybe even further, or it could simply just keep going. One thing to keep in mind is that I've put my moving averages on here. So I'm using the 8, the 21, the 50 and the 200. I don't usually use the 8 and 21 on the weekly, but given this market, I thought it was relevant as we've been in quite a sharp uptrend. And I just wanted to see if the moving averages had started to fan out at all. If your moving averages are fanning out, then that means that you're in a trend, whether it be up or down. But it looks like the moving averages are starting to potentially fan out. We've already had an 8 and 21 crossover, with the 8 being above the 21, and the 21 is starting to cross over the 50 as well. So we could see a continuation of this up movement, at least up until this channel resistance here. Another thing to keep in mind, as you can see, over the last few years, the 200 moving average has been quite reliable on the euro dollar, as it's acted as both dynamic support and resistance. So has the 50, but I'm ignoring the 50 at the moment, given that it's cut through that, and it doesn't look like it'll be coming back to it at the moment. The thing I'm interested in is that we're at this 200 level again. So there's a couple of scenarios that we can think of in this situation, and that is, we could see a pullback to this channel as the channel's been broken, a channel support line for it to go up, or it could simply go up. And just to play devil's advocate and forecast if this doesn't happen, is that we are at this really reliable 200 moving average. We have cut through that, but this week will be the week just to double check and see if we do have an instant rejection, as that does happen in the market. We're at this level, we could see an instant rejection for it to just drop, and we could see some downside movement. As we've broken this channel, as we've broken and pushed through the 200 moving average, I'm looking at some upside movement at the moment. Before I do, I'll just put in some weekly levels, and then we can see if there's any resistance coming into play. So yeah, we're at two really strong weekly key levels right now. We've had a rejection off of one, but you've got to keep in mind that we've had a lot of momentum on the upside to reach that. So as a trader, you have to think, is this level strong enough to stop this amount of momentum? And it's something that we do just have to keep an eye on over the next week or so. We have had a rejection off of this weekly key level, and what it looks like is we could have a slight pullback down to here to the 113.86 level for it to just push back up again and continue onto the upside. So that's all I'm really going to do on the weekly. Just introduce the moving averages, how I use them, see if they're fanning out, which it looks like they could be, especially with the 21 starting to move over the 50, seeing if they act as any dynamic support or resistance, using channels and also using key levels, just to see where the market is most likely to reject or continue. We're at a rejection point, but we're approaching it with a lot of momentum, and price action is key when you're trading. Always analyze your candlesticks and see what's exactly going on. So here you can see that we opened here and we closed near the highs, only a slight rejection off that weekly level at the moment. So now's the time to go into a lower time frame, see exactly what's going on, see if we have retested this channel line already. So what I'll do is I'll zoom out and I'll put in the same channel line as I did on the weekly. So just bear with me. And you can see when drawing your channels, it's all about practice, guys. It's all about just training yourself just to spot that one line where there's a big reaction point. Once you find that one line, then you can get the rest, because the rest are just parallel to that, and you can see how effective it can be with all these channels. You can see where price is reacting within the market, especially on the weekly and daily right now. So let me just zoom in quickly. We can see here that we actually have broken this channel line already and retested it. And as soon as we retested on Friday, price just instantly reacted and shot up. So to me, at the moment, it looks like we could be heading to the upside right now. Just based on price action and these channel movements, it looks like we could be going up. It's just giving extra confirmation that we've already retested this channel line, which is a really nice confirmation that we're going up here. And again, I'll put in my key levels and see what's going on here. So yeah, we can see that we're in actually quite a choppy area, to be honest, on the daily. And we've got 4 support and resistance lines relatively close together. But you do just have to keep in mind that we have broken the channel, retested the 8 EMA as well by the looks of it. And we've had a really bullish day. And we could look to go on to the upside, especially up to this key level up here, maybe even beyond that up to the channel resistance. But what I'll actually be looking for is just a break of this level here, so a break of the 114.27. If we break that level, it just gives extra confirmation that we're definitely going up at least until the 115.36. So yeah, a break of this level would be lovely, but we do have to keep in mind that especially on the weekly, we are at that 200 EMA level where we could see a rejection. So we do just have to keep that in mind. Let me just clear this, sorry. So we'll go into the 4 hour then, just to go into a little bit more detail and see where we can potentially enter a buy position, as I think the euro dollar is looking quite strong this week, as we have just established. So again, I just take a quick zoom out, see if I can spot any channels, which I can see a potential one here. Oh, sorry, I'll do that one again. There we go. So we're in an ascending channel on the 4-hour as well. And this could be quite a nice time for a little pullback for us to think about entering a buy position, which is quite nice to see. We're at a channel resistance on the 4-hour, and you can see the last 4 hours of last week we did have a rejection off of that. So what I actually expect to see is for price maybe to come down to here. It might range for a while. You've got to think that Mondays and sometimes Tuesdays can be a corrective day in the market where not too much happens. It certainly can do, but you do just have to keep market volatility in mind. So going into Monday, I'll expect maybe some slow movement, maybe a bit of ranging activity going down, and eventually, I hope to hit this this 4-hour channel support line. Just to confirm to see if this is a good buy zone or not. Again, I'll just put in my 4-hour key levels, and we can see that we've had a rejection off of a 4-hour resistance. We do have some support coming into play very soon from the previous highs, but I expect price, because as we can see, I expect price to come down to around this level. We can see how strong of a 4-hour level this is, around the 113.61 to the 113.38. That looks like a really strong buy zone for me. Just building up confluence and building up a picture that this actually could be a really good buy position for the euro, because we've got weekly, we've had a 200 EMA break, we've had a channel break. Although we're at a weekly resistance, we could break that as well. That would be extra confirmation. And the daily, as we've broken the channel line, we've actually gone and retested it as well with a lot of bullish momentum onto the upside. So as going into that, we're at the 4-hour channel resistance. We've had a rejection off of a resistance level as well, kind of putting a little confirmation into saying that we could expect a little bit of a pullback here. And it'll be really nice to see the euro dollar coming in and hitting this price around this level here. Before I do go down into the lower time frame, just like last video, what I also like to do is I just like to put in a fib, an upwards Fibonacci in this market. As we can see, we have been in an uptrend. We're in an ascending channel, so I'll put in my up Fibonacci because that's where it looks like the market and the momentum is going. So I'll put in my up Fibonacci here, and we can see that the market's looking to push up to around this level up here. We've had let me just zoom in, sorry. We've had a C pullback to this orange level, as you can see, and that means we've got an orange target, which is the 144 extension. And that will take us to around the 115.15 level. So as traders, we're always looking to improve on our entry points and get the best price possible. So this actually looks like a really good opportunity going relatively early into next week to buy around this level, in my opinion. It'll be really nice to have a further rejection going down, seeing a price action reaction here for it to push up at least to this Fibonacci extension, and we could expect it to go even higher. As we said, we could expect it to go around here, which would be, let's just put it around here, the 116.50 level. roughly. So we could see quite a big movement to the upside this week. Something that I found interesting as well is, although for me this is enough to enter a buy position already, especially when we've got the 50 EMA there, we can also put in some uptrend lines as we have had a sharp uptrend. So I'll just quickly take these off. Put in our trend lines. And I'll just make them a bit more prominent for you guys so you can see them. Take that one off. So look, we can see that we're in an uptrend right now via our trend lines. We have had a good touch and a good movement up from the last touch of the trend line here. But the amount of confluence that's pointing to this area around here right now is brilliant. We've got confirmation that it looks like there's going to be a rejection here with some bearish momentum going on to the downside. For price to come around here would be perfect, because not only have we got a channel line, we've got a trend line around that level. We've got the 200 EMA approaching that. I doubt it'll get as low as that, but we've got the channel line as well. And also we have that that fib. We're looking to have that fib movement up, so this could be a good point to buy. What I'll also do is go into the lower time frames, and interestingly enough, if we have a look at the first key level on the 4 hour, which I can actually do on this, sorry, let me just have a play around with this. So on the 1 hour, you can see that the first key level that the key support level that we're going to hit is confluence with the 200 EMA on the 1 hour chart. So it'll be really nice to see a good movement down to this key level, a bounce off of the 200 moving average. And I would expect my RSI, which is the RSI 6, to be oversold as well. If it isn't, I mean, it's not a problem, but it's lovely to build up as much confluence as possible. So that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a bounce off of this key level, the 200 EMA, and also the RSI to be oversold, going below the 20 level on my lower time frame. So yeah, I guess the last thing I can do is just put in another quick Fibonacci just to see if there's any smaller waves in the market. Again, we're going up, so I'll put in an up Fibonacci as well. And again, we can see here it's the same as or similar to last time, but we're just in a smaller wave, and we're heading to a 166 extension, a 161 extension, sorry. And if we see here, if we pull back to this 200 EMA in this key level, we're actually having a pullback to the Fibonacci level as well. That would be our C pullback on lower time frames. So it looks like this is the level to buy at for me at the moment. There's just so much confluence going towards this level. I've got it all on my trading view as well, so I can show you guys. So I'll just quickly elaborate on exactly on what we've just gone over. So we've got channel resistance here coming down to hit a really key 4 hour level, a trend line, and also a channel line. And not only that, on lower time frames, we have got the 200 exponential moving average around that area, and we could potentially have an RSI to be oversold as well. So there's a lot of confluence going around in around this area, and we're looking at upside momentum on higher time frames as well. I hope you guys have found this useful. This is a slightly more complicated one than last week, but it just kind of gives you an idea of where to pick out really key points in the market and build up your confluence to enter buy or short positions. So if you do have any questions, again, please feel free to ask me, give me a message, or ask on the group. I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have. I hope you guys have a really good week, and happy trading to you all. See you later. Bye bye.